Hey, you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Hope y'all having a fantastic Saturday. Today, you guys, I found a court case that happened quite some time ago in 2013, I believe. But I am getting my reference from true crime case files. Yeah, that part. And their topic is husband's secret gay love affair with stepson ends in a grisly murking. And it's a true documentary, y'all. So, just to give you all a little background, there was a couple, a husband and a wife. The husband was having an affair with the son. So, you guys, we are going to go and jump in and we are going to dissect this, you guys, and we are going to jump in and let's go ahead and get started.
Crime Case Files, where we dive deep into the most shocking and perplexing crimes. Today, we uncover the tragic and complex story of Richard Engelbert, a successful real estate agent whose hidden life and secrets led to his brutal murder. Richard Engelbert was a 48-year-old man living in Littleton, Colorado. He was a well-known real estate agent in the community, often seen driving around in his sleek black BMW with the license plate Sexy Realtor, showing homes to clients. Richard was married to
So, y'all, if you guys heard not no normal regular man that is, for me, yes, it would. Because I wouldn't want my man to be driving around in no car that has a sexy realtor on his license plate, y'all. That just like that rings that rings a bell. Yeah. That rings a bell. But let's let me see. Let's continue. Hold on just a second. Let me see. Something is going on. Let me put that back up in there. Hold on. Okay. So let's carry on, y'all. Oh, yeah. Where'd it go? Okay. Let's carry on, y'all.
showing homes to clients. Richard was married to Wendy, a school principal, and had a stepson named Harrison. He graduated from the University of Colorado with a degree in business and had been in the real estate business for over 20 years. People in Littleton trusted Richard because he always seemed friendly and reliable. Richard lived in
Mm.
a large two-story house with a well-manicured lawn. His neighbors often saw him working in the yard, greeting them with a warm smile and a wave. He was involved in local events and charity fundraisers, often sponsoring local Little League teams and attending church on Sundays. Richard
Uh-oh.
Lemonade.
Hold on, let me
Changing insurance,
redraft it.
starting with everything.
Uh-oh. So,
Richard seemed to have the perfect life, with a beautiful
so you guys, he lived in a house, he had a well manicured lawn, and he was a realtor. But my thing is, and it kind of goes back all to this Hollywood stuff, y'all, with P. Diddy and like just men who are of this caliber. Why is it that a man that is gay and doesn't want anybody to know? Why? I don't understand why they get married and do these kinds of things, of course, but why do they even get married if they know that they are gay and they do not like women? Why do they even get married to a woman to hide their secret gay lifestyle? Why don't they just stay single? I don't know. This is just me thinking, in my own opinion, you guys. Why would a man that is gay get married to a woman and try to cover up his lifestyle? I just don't understand. Why just stay single and do what you do? Even if you do it undercover, that is your business. But I just don't understand why a man, and probably females do it too. I don't know. But why is it that like people are so ashamed of who they are? Like, be who you are. People will be more respectful when you come as you are, and if you are who you are, if you're gay, straight, or whatever your sexual orientation is, just be who you are. And it's, to me, I would accept that more than you lying and also marrying a woman and knowing that you are gay, you don't even like women. That would be more acceptable to me, you guys. And I'm just saying, like, I don't understand what the reasoning is behind a man that is gay, why they do what they do. But y'all, let's carry on. Let's carry on.
Beautiful home, a successful career, and a loving family. However, Richard had a secret life. For the past 2 years, he had been in a sexual relationship with his stepson, Harrison. Richard kept this relationship hidden from everyone, fearing it would ruin his reputation and career.
So y'all, he was trying to do his dirt, of course, and uh do his dirt, not only doing his dirt, y'all, but doing it with his stepson for like the last 2 years. And his son, they said that he was 21 years old. So if he was 21, it had to start when he was like, what, 19, 18, 19? Yeah, something like that. That he was, having this affair with his own stepson. So how this like occurred, or like how this transpired, is, yeah, it's kind of crazy. But y'all, let's move on. Let's carry on.
In addition to this, he continued to meet other men for sex through his work, using the homes he showed as secret meeting places.
Mm,
These double lives created a lot of stress and tension for Richard. In the days before his death,
wow.
Richard was busy with work, closing deals, and meeting clients. He spent long hours at the office and often came home late. He was looking forward to a weekend getaway to the Bahamas with his wife Wendy, hoping to relax and forget about his troubles for a while. Richard was also planning to attend a 4th of July barbecue at a friend's house, where he expected to catch up with old friends and enjoy some time away from his hectic life. Richard's friends described him as charismatic and charming. He had a way of making people feel comfortable and important.
Y'all, Richard had some friends. Now, do y'all think Richard's friends knew that he was gay and he really didn't like women? Or maybe he did like women. I have no idea, but this is just my thought. Allegedly, did he not like women, or did he like women and men? Was he, bisexual? But it says gay here on this article. So I assumed that he was gay. So I know one of those friends that you, I'm sure, was gonna go and hang out with. I know somebody knew that you were gay and you had a alternate, lifestyle going on. So y'all, let's continue because this is deep.
Despite his friendly exterior, Richard was deeply troubled by his hidden life. He felt guilty about his affair with Harrison and the lies he told to keep it a secret. He
Mm,
was also worried about Wendy finding out, fearing it would destroy their marriage and his standing in the community. In his last days, Richard was a man under pressure, trying to juggle his public persona with this private turmoil. His
wow.
dreams of a perfect life were slowly unraveling, leading to a tragic and violent end. On June 27, 2014, around 3:00 p.m., Wendy Engelbert returned early from her job as a school principal. She was looking forward to a relaxing evening, maybe watching some shows on Netflix and catching up on her favorite book. As she walked through the front door of their house on Bleak Street in Littleton, Colorado, everything seemed normal at first. She put her keys on the kitchen counter and called out for Richard, but there was no answer. Feeling a bit uneasy, Wendy decided to check the basement where Richard often spent time working on his real estate files or watching the History Channel. As she descended the stairs, she noticed that the basement door was slightly ajar, which was unusual. She called his name again, louder this time, but still no response. When she reached the bottom of the stairs, she was met with a scene of horror. Richard's lifeless body was sprawled on the floor, surrounded by signs of a violent struggle.
So she came home and found his body lying there. Like I said, looked like a violent struggle. Now, I want to know, for any reason, as a mother, you should have some kind of inkling of something that is kind of like weird going on. I know I would, as far as where, like, how did they move? How did they conversate in the house? Like, those things you have to pay attention to. Those things you have to really watch and pay attention, y'all. Okay, let's carry on. Let's carry on, because this is crazy.
There were bloodstains on the carpet and furniture, and Richard's face was bruised and battered.
Mm,
A men's luxury belt was wrapped tightly around his neck,
mm.
clearly used to choke him to death.
Lemonade.
So,
Changing insurance,
this
starting
is a
with
commercial,
everything.
y'all. I'm sorry. Let me try to skip through it.
Wendy screamed in terror and rushed to her husband's side, shaking him and desperately trying to wake him up. But it was too late.
Mm.
In a state of shock and disbelief, Wendy grabbed her cell phone and dialed 911. Her hands trembled as she spoke to the operator, her voice cracking with emotion. My husband is.
So when she found her husband, she called 911. But did she even check? And it doesn't say this on this in this article, because I'm sure there's more like details to it. Whenever they do a crime scene investigation, they're gonna go step by step. Like, was there like forced entry at any of the doors? Was there this? Was there that? Was the door left wide open? Was the door unlocked? Was the garage door up? Was the garage door down? They're going to look for, any of those things. But I wonder, when she found her husband, there, unalive, was there signs of that when she walked in? Like the door was just left open, or was the garage door left open? Was there any signs of any of that, leading up to her, like, walking in and finding her husband? Those are the things that, I don't know. I like to do like deep dives, so I want to know like all. But I'm going to do some more research on this one too, because I want to know those questions. And I know it's not in this um, video, but I would love to find out if there was like any kind of forced entry into this house where she found her husband passed away. So let's carry on, y'all. Let's continue with this.
Dead. I think he's been murdered, she cried, struggling to catch her breath. The operator tried to calm her down and instructed her to stay on the line until the police arrived. Wendy's neighbor, Luby Johnson Gantz, heard the commotion and came over to see what was happening. She found Wendy sitting on the front steps, sobbing uncontrollably. Luby stayed with Wendy, trying to comfort her while they waited for the police.
Wow.
The minutes felt like hours, and Wendy's mind raced with questions about who could have done this and why. When the police finally arrived, they quickly secured the scene and escorted Wendy and Luby away from the basement. Wendy was in a state of shock, barely able to comprehend what had just.
Y'all, let me tell you something. Whenever you guys, there is a crime scene and there is a husband and a wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, whatever, they're always going to look at that other person as the first person of interest to the crime. So even, if she did or didn't, you know, do this to her husband, she's going to be looked at as if she could possibly be the one who did. So that is just, I believe, protocol. I love watching like crime TV and court TV. That is always the case on these type of situations where you have a husband and a wife. They look at the other spouse always, 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 immediately when there is a situation. And they're always going to also, look at the person, the spouse, and then they're going to try to figure out, where was the spouse during this, situation? Were they at work? Do they have an alibi? Can they confirm where they were? Like, maybe they were at work when it happened. It seemed like she had just came in and found him. So maybe, was she at work? Was she grocery shopping? Was she out? There's so many different, ways that places that she could have been, if she is, the person of, of course she is a person of interest, but if she is a person that they will deem that committed this crime of her husband. But let's carry on, y'all, because this is getting really good.
Just happened. She kept repeating, "Who would do this to Richard?" over and over again, her mind unable to process the brutal reality of her
Mm.
husband's death. The discovery of Richard's body sent shockwaves through the quiet community of Littleton. News of the
Wow.
murder spread quickly, with neighbors and friends gathering outside the Engelbert home, trying to make sense of the tragedy that had struck their seemingly perfect neighborhood. On June 27, 2014, at 3:15 p.m., the Littleton Police Department received a frantic 911 call from Wendy Engelbert. Officers arrived at the scene within minutes, led by Detective James Cattle, a seasoned investigator known for his meticulous approach. The Engelbert home, located on the quiet Oak Street, was quickly surrounded by police cars, and yellow crime scene tape was stretched around the perimeter.
And you guys, as protocol, I'm sure, I've never been a police officer, but I do know that when they do arrive, the police arrive on scene, they do throw that yellow tape up and they start isolating people from the crime scene because they don't know what happened. They don't know if the wife is a person that the person that committed this crime. There's a lot of things that comes into play once they try to secure the crime scene. So they have to, secure the crime scene the best that they can because they have to go in there. They got to, get the evidence. They got to, put the little numbers down and take pictures next to all the evidence that's inside the house. So they don't want anything to be tampered with. So they have to put the yellow tape up and secure the crime scene. So y'all, let's continue. This is like, oh my goodness, this is crazy, but let's continue.
Detective Cattle and his team entered the basement, where they were confronted with a grisly scene.
Mm.
Richard Engelbert's body lay on the floor, with a men's luxury belt wrapped tightly around his neck.
Mm-mm-mm.
Bloodstains were visible on the carpet and nearby furniture, indicating a violent struggle. Detective Cattle, a spry man in his late 40s with sharp eyes and a calm demeanor, took in the scene with a steely resolve. The police began their investigation by collecting evidence. They photographed the scene from various angles, documenting every detail. The belt used in the murder was carefully bagged as evidence, and detectives searched for fingerprints and any other clues that might lead to the killer. Detective
See, y'all, when this happens to another thing, when they talk about fingerprints, the fingerprints, sometimes when people commit crimes, they don't think of like, okay, I touched this water bottle, I touched this mouse, I touched the counters, I touched whatever. Sometimes they don't think of it when they're doing what they're doing. And when they go in there and they have to do that, I forget the name of that luminol, whatever that stuff that they like they'll put down to pull up the fingerprints to see if there's any fingerprints or like even like blood splatter and stuff like that. They have to go in there and retrieve those things. So like I said, whenever the crime scene tape goes up, these are the reasons and the purposes that they do not want nobody going in there and tampering with anything, because they may go in there with some bleach, try to clean up. They may try to clean up with Pine Sol or whatever, and it may hurt and stop the crime scene investigators from getting the crime scene evidence that they need to proceed for the court case. All right, you guys, let's carry on.
Cattle noted the overturned furniture and signs of a struggle, indicating that Richard had fought for his life. Forensic experts arrived to process the scene, using luminol to detect blood traces and collecting samples for DNA analysis. They
Luminol,
meticulously combed
that's
the
what it's
area for
called.
hair, fibers, and any other potential evidence. The
Mm.
brutality of the murder shocked even the most experienced officers, but they remained focused on gathering all the information they could. Detective Cattle interviewed Wendy Engelbert, who was still in shock from discovering her husband's body. She described her day and the horrifying moment she found Richard.
Wow.
Her account was detailed and emotional, but she insisted she had no idea who could have done this.
Mm.
Wendy's alibi was quickly verified, as she had been at
See, y'all, her alibi, it was quickly verified. So they knew that this woman did not unalive her husband because they validated wherever she said she was at, maybe at work or at the grocery store, whatever. They were able to validate that with no problem. And actually, eliminate her from being a suspect of this crime of unaliving her husband. But let's carry on, y'all. This is a good one. Let's carry on.
Been at work at the time of the murder. Next, the police began canvassing the neighborhood. They spoke with neighbors, including Luby Johnson Gantz, who had come to Wendy's aid. Sarah described hearing Wendy's screams and finding her on the front steps, distraught and incoherent. Other neighbors mentioned seeing Richard earlier in the day, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary. The police also checked Richard's recent phone and email records, hoping to find any leads. They discovered several suspicious messages and calls, suggesting that Richard had been meeting with various men for illicit sex. This
Hmm.
revelation added a new layer to the investigation, pointing
Hmm. You guys, so there was text messages and all kind of stuff in his phone, y'all. The phone records. That's another thing. When people commit crimes, y'all, they think that they can delete text messages and calls and stuff, but when the police go and they subpoena the phone records and all that stuff, they can pull that stuff back. They can retrieve that stuff back. Just like with your laptops too. You delete something, oh, if you committed a crime, they can subpoena your laptop and they can actually go back where you pull whatever you deleted. They can pull that back up. I mean, these computer scientists, I mean, is they are something. They can pull that stuff back. So no matter how fast you think you're gonna delete this, delete that, they can pull it back. They can definitely pull it back. Okay, let's keep it going, y'all.
to potential motives related to Richard's hidden life. As the day turned into evening, the police continued their work, determined to find the person responsible for Richard Engelbert's brutal murder. The scene was cleared, and Detective Cattle and his team reviewed the evidence collected, preparing for the next steps in their investigation.
Hmm.
The community of Littleton watched anxiously, hoping for answers and justice for Richard Engelbert. The first suspect in Richard Engelbert's murder was his wife, Wendy Engelbert.
See, you guys, when it says the first suspect was his wife, they automatically, like I said, they automatically will look, this is his spouse. So she's probably the one who did this until they can prove otherwise. But they will put that charge on you in a minute. I mean, unofficially, but they will put that charge on you. Yeah, that was her. Yeah, she's the one who did that to her husband until they validate that. So let's carry on, y'all.
Wendy, 47, was a respected school principal in Littleton, known for her intelligence and strong personality. She had been with the school district for over 15 years and was
So, you guys, so Wendy and her husband, they were living a good life as far as their careers. She was a principal, he was a realtor. They lived, probably the, middle class, upper class. I'm not sure what their income was, but they had good jobs, good careers, and they were living a certain lifestyle. So let's carry on, y'all, because this is getting like really, really good.
was heavily involved in community activities. Her colleagues described her as dedicated and authoritative, always striving for excellence. Wendy was brought in for questioning the day after the murder on June 28, 2014. Detective James Cattle led the interrogation, trying to piece together her actions and emotions. Wendy appeared exhausted and distraught.
That's another thing, y'all. Whenever they interrogate you or whoever that committed this, who they suspect that committed this crime, because everybody is innocent until proven guilty, allegedly. However, whenever they interrogate you, they're looking at your demeanor, your body language, if you're crying, how you're crying, what you're saying, how you're saying it. Are you tripping over your words? Are you stuttering? Are you, not want, they look at all of that. Your body language, yeah, how you're sitting up, how you slouch down. They look at all of that when this type of things happen, y'all. So let's carry on.
But she answered questions calmly. She recounted her day at work and the horrifying discovery of Richard's body when she returned home. Despite her composed demeanor, Wendy's anger and confusion were evident. She expressed disbelief and frustration over the affair, insisting she had no idea Richard was sexually involved with other men. The revelation of the affair added
Could y'all imagine how heart wrenching that could be for a woman to know that her husband was in a gay love affair and you had no clue at all? If she didn't have no clue, I don't know if she did, but according to what this said, like, she was shocked, she didn't know that her husband was, having a gay love affair. That could be very devastating. I know for me, if I were to come home and my husband, I found out that not only is he passed away, but now that I know that he was having a gay love affair with men, that is another ball game, y'all. Let's carry on.
added tension to the interrogation as Detective Cattle probed deeper into Wendy's feelings about her husband's betrayal. Detective Cattle asked Wendy about her relationship with Richard. She admitted they have a strong partnership, but mentioned that they had faced some challenges recently. Wendy claimed she was unaware of Richard's secret life. She explained she had recent ski injury, which had caused her difficulty in reading people's actions, and suggested this might be why she missed any signs of Richard's double life. Wendy's alibi was solid. She had been at the school all day, attending meetings and preparing for the upcoming school year. Colleagues and security footage confirmed her presence at work during the time of the murder.
See, so Wendy, she was on her A game as far as, what was going on, where was she at? Her alibi was solid as a rock. They eliminated her from being one of the people of interest. She, got her name scratched off that list. Like, it wasn't Wendy. It wasn't, it wasn't his wife. So we need to continue on and see who committed this crime. So let's carry on, you guys.
Nonetheless, her connection to the victim made her a person of interest. Detective Cattle also explored Wendy's possible motives. Her reputation and career were crucial to her, and Richard's affair threatened both. However, Wendy firmly denied any involvement in the murder, maintaining her innocence throughout the questioning. She was cooperative and provided all requested information, including access to her phone and emails. The police conducted a thorough search of the Engelbert home, looking for any evidence that might link Wendy to the crime. They found nothing incriminating, reinforcing her alibi and statements. Still, the detectives remained cautious, aware that emotions could drive even the most rational individuals to commit desperate acts. Wendy was released after several hours of questioning, but she remained under scrutiny as the investigation continued.
Yes, that is one thing. When you are unofficially looked at, charged, I'm gonna say unofficially charged, because they will look at you and treat you like a whole criminal, according to you being just the spouse of this person. They will treat you in accordance with, like, you did this. That's the person, until they validate otherwise, until they say, oh no, okay, his wife, oh no, she was at work. That is a valid alibi. She was at work. But let's carry on, because y'all, this story, it takes some a crazy twist and turn, because you guys would be shocked exactly with what is happening.
The police kept a close watch on her, monitoring her interactions and movements while they explored other leads. The murder of Richard Engelbert was proving to be a complex case, with
Mm.
layers of secrets and motives slowly unraveling. Harrison Engelbert, Richard's 21-year-old stepson, was the next suspect. Harrison
Hmm. See, and you guys, they didn't mention him as far as, like, living in the house. I don't remember them mentioning that Harrison that lived in the house, but Harrison is the stepson. So y'all, let's carry on, because this is getting juicy, y'all.
Harrison was a college student and part-time bartender, known for his troubled past. He had been in and out of rehab and 12-step programs as a teenager. Despite these challenges, Harrison was determined to turn his life around
Hmm.
and was pursuing a degree in psychology at a local community college.
Hmm.
On June 28, 2014, Harrison was brought in for questioning. Detective James Cattle.
Y'all, you see how quick that turned in? from the husband looking at being looked, I mean, the wife being looked at, to now the son being looked at. Like, you see how the tables like really turn like really quick on that, y'all. When they need to find somebody, they need to put a name to this crime. They will, I mean, they will do what they have to do. But he was a college student. I'm not sure if he was living in the house, but they said he was a bartender. So let's carry on, y'all, because this, I'm telling y'all, it's gonna take a twist and turn. Y'all gonna be like, oh my goodness.
Aware of the sensitive nature of Harrison's relationship with Richard, approached the interrogation with caution. Harrison appeared nervous but cooperative, willing to share his side of the story. Harrison admitted to the police that he had been in a secret sexual relationship with.
Bam. Do y'all see that? Harrison, he admitted to the police that he was in a secret rendezvous love affair with his stepfather, y'all. This is why I tell people to protect their children. If you have a stepfather or stepmother in your child's life, you guys, y'all have to really watch and pay attention, and y'all have to talk to y'all's children. And I'm not saying that all stepfathers or stepmothers are bad with ill intentions, but these type of people, like this situation at hand, this case, they are out there, y'all. They are out there, and they will perpetrate a fraud. I mean, he was already perpetrating a fraud when he married Wendy. He knew he was gay. He knew he was having secret rendezvous with men and gay love affairs with men. He knew that, and he went ahead and married Wendy. You know, I don't understand the reason why men do that. I don't understand, but y'all, he went in there and he said that he was the person who unalived his stepfather, y'all. So let's come on, this is getting juicy. I'm telling y'all, let's continue.
With his stepfather for the past 2 years. He described feeling conflicted, struggling with the deceit and secrecy. Harrison revealed that he had recently broken off the affair after discovering that Richard had been cheating on him with dozens of other men.
Y'all, Richard seemed like he had a whole freaking freak behind closed doors, unbeknown to his wife. He's over here sleeping with the stepson. Richard is sleeping with Harrison behind his wife's back, and that is his stepson. I mean, y'all got to pay attention. I'm telling y'all, y'all got to pay attention as to who y'all marry, what kind of people y'all bring in y'all's house, in y'all's homes, and in your children's lives, because there's a lot of Richards out there, y'all. But y'all have to stay, with your eyes open, your ears open, and you guys have to watch, because these are predators that you're married to, that is doing this to your own children. Y'all, let's continue, because this is, oh my goodness.
Using homes he showed as a real estate agent as secret meeting places. During the interrogation,
So not only was Richard doing secret rendezvous with men having gay love affairs, he was doing it with his stepson, and he was doing it while he was going out showing homes as a realtor, y'all. I mean, he's like a smooth criminal. I mean, who would have known that your husband is messing with your son and also cheating and having gay love affairs while he goes and shows properties at work? So really, he was like the party animal. He wanted to party. Y'all, let's continue. This is great.
Harrison expressed a mix of anger and sadness. He felt betrayed by Richard, not only because of the affair, but also because of the lies and manipulation. Despite his resentment, Harrison claimed he had no intention of harming Richard. He stated that he had been bartending on the night of the murder, and several witnesses confirmed his.
This brings up signs of narcissist to me. He's doing he's doing the most at work. Then he's messing with his own stepson. And then he's manipulating his stepson. And his stepson finds out that he's having gay love affairs with other men, not just him. Like he's doing other, secret rendezvous with men, y'all. And I know as a young child, especially in this situation, it's sad, but you would think that, I mean, it's wrong. I'm not agreeing with what's happening because it's disgusting. But him as a stepfather, he probably, of course, respected and probably um, leaned towards his honesty in doing what they were doing, but not knowing that he was doing other things as well out there with other men besides with the stepson Harrison. Y'all, let's continue. This is, oh my goodness, this is awful.
His ally. Detective Cattle delved deeper into Harrison's possible motives. The young man's history of emotional turmoil and substance abuse raised concerns, but his recent efforts to stay sober and focused on his studies painted a different picture. Harrison was open about his struggles and his desire to move forward, away from the toxic relationship with Richard. The police also examined Harrison's electronic devices and social media accounts.
So, y'all, seemed like Harrison had a drug problem, and he was putting all his confidence and trust in his stepfather, Richard, and he was being manipulated all along because Richard, he wanted to do what he wanted to do. You know, had Harrison been a girl, would Richard have done this? Would he have raped the little girl too? Y'all gotta pay it. I'm telling y'all have to look deep, neat. Y'all gotta look, background check, criminal history check, any kind of check you guys can on who you are dating, even who you are marrying. Because people like Richard, there's a lot of them out there, and they will perpetrate a fraud in a minute. They will perpetrate, oh yeah, yeah, I'm in love, let's get married. Like, why are you getting married to a female and you don't even like females? You like men. You are gay. What is the purpose? Was the purpose to get to her son? Is that why he married her? I wonder, y'all. I wonder. Let's carry on, y'all. This is crazy.
Looking for any evidence of his involvement in the crime. They found messages between him and Richard that showed tension and conflict, but nothing that directly implicated him in the murder. Harrison's DNA was found at the crime scene,
Wow.
but as he lived in the house, this was not unexpected. Harrison's cooperation and consistent alibi made it difficult for the police to pin the crime on him. He was released after several hours of questioning, but he remained a key figure in the investigation. The police
See, I told y'all, once somebody is eliminated from the equation, which Wendy was eliminated from the equation because she had a solid as a rock, you know, alibi. She got off. So now they're looking at Harrison like, okay, Wendy's out the way. Harrison, where were you at? Because your DNA was at the crime scene, Harrison. So, okay, we're going to check you out, Harrison. But when somebody lives there in the house, my fingerprints, people live there, they're touching stuff, their fingerprints are there. But they said that his DNA was at the crime scene. So that means that DNA was somewhere around Richard's body around the time that they were doing the investigation, and they found something. I don't know, maybe a hair follicle or fingerprints, maybe shoe prints or something. I don't know, something. They found something. Let's carry on, y'all.
Police continued to monitor his activities and interactions, searching for any inconsistencies or new evidence that might shed light on his involvement. The complex dynamics between Richard and Harrison added a layer of complexity to the case, leaving Detective Cattle and his team with more questions than answers. As they continued to dig deeper, they hoped to uncover the truth behind Richard Engelbert's brutal murder. Hey, true crime case solvers interested in more real life murder mysteries, be sure to like and subscribe. And as 30 was the
Let's rewind it a little bit. Okay. Right. Right there.
third suspect in the investigation. Alexa had a history with Richard.
So y'all, when y'all see this portion, y'all gonna be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, because it takes another turn. Yeah, Richard was off the chain, but y'all, let's see what Alexa had to do with this situation. Y'all gonna be shocked. Let's run it.
Richard Engelbert that made her a person of interest. She had once caught Richard having sex with her husband in the bathroom of a house they were touring together.
Now, if that ain't heart wrenching, that your husband you are married to is having a freak off in the houses that you're showing this couple, like, what is going on? Richard, like, really? Okay.
Which led to the end of her marriage. Known for her fiery temper, Alexa had several confrontations with Richard since the incident. On June 29, 2014,
Y'all, as she should feel some type of way about this man messing with her husband. Like, I don't know how I would really be devastated if I was ever told that my husband is sleeping with another man. I would be devastated. And I know Alexa was devastated when she found out that Richard was messing with her husband. Y'all, let's carry on because Richard is off the chain. He smooth criminal.
Detective James Cattle brought Alexa in for questioning. Alexa was a waitress at a popular local diner and had a reputation for being outspoken and strong-willed. She walked into the interrogation room with a defiant expression.
As she walked into the interrogation room with the defiant like expression, look, Alexa was probably like, this ninja over here, he was messing with my husband and I found out and caught him. Yes, and I did whatever I did, allegedly, whatever she did. But yeah, she looked like she ain't playing no games. Like, this is my husband. This ain't no boyfriend, no fiance, no boo thing. That is my husband. Y'all, let's carry on because Richard was off the chain.
Ready to defend herself. Detective Cattle started by asking Alexa about her relationship with Richard. She admitted that she despised him for ruining her marriage and causing her immense emotional pain. Alexa described the day she discovered her husband and Richard together as the worst day of her life.
Y'all, could y'all imagine for the females that are out there that are married to a man and find out and look and see that your husband is sleeping with another man, not even a woman. I mean, you'll be hurt. I will be hurt if he's cheating with another woman, but I would be extremely devastated if I walk in on my husband and he is sleeping with a whole man. Y'all, that would be, yeah, I would need some serious counseling on that one to not only know but to actually physically see that he is doing this. Heart-wrenching. Y'all, let's carry on.
She had confronted Richard several times after that, demanding answers and an apology, but he had always brushed her off. When asked about her
Y'all, when she confronted Richard, she was like, I'm gonna get a couple of things straight with you. What's going on with you and my husband? And the narcissistic, tendencies that I probably, allegedly, I feel that he probably has. I'm not no doctor, but I'm just giving you guys my opinion. Richard was like, look, I'm a freak and I get what I want and I do whatever I want to do. I don't have to answer to you. You better go talk to your husband because you need to have him explain to you what's going on. I'm not explaining nothing. Yeah, that part. He was acting up, I'm sure, a whole plum donkey, y'all. Let's carry on.
Whereabouts on the day of the murder, Alexa said she had been working a double shift at a diner called Denny's. She provided the names of her coworkers who could verify her alibi.
So Alexa, she had a solid alibi too. she was able to figure I'm not she was able to let them know that, hey, she was at work. She had nothing to do with unaliving this man, even though this man was sleeping with my husband. And I know she probably, allegedly, maybe this is just my opinion, y'all, maybe she did have the thoughts of doing something like this, because when you walk in on your husband and another man, that's like a whole another ball game in itself, y'all. That is, I don't even want to fathom that thought, but I could imagine how she felt, because I know I will be devastated. Okay, let's carry on, y'all.
Detective Cattle called the diner and spoke with Alexa's manager, who confirmed that Alexa had been at work all day. Multiple coworkers also confirmed seeing her during her shifts. Despite her solid alibi, Detective Cattle explored Alexa's possible motives further. Her intense anger toward Richard was evident, but she insisted she had moved on and was focusing on rebuilding her life. Alexa shared that she was taking night classes at a local community college, hoping to become a social worker.
Alexa said, look, I know that's my husband. I'm sure she loved her husband. But that didn't stop her from living her life. She was like, I'm going to get me an education and probably gonna figure out why these men do that type of stuff by the degree she's went to school for. She probably like, I got to go figure out why this joke is, why men do that, probably. So I'm just saying this, me, saying this, but I'm just saying she probably was like, I need to figure out why these men do that. I'm going to school, get me a degree in psychology, I think it said, and figure out why these men do what they do. Yeah, that part. Let's carry on, y'all.
And help others who had gone through similar struggles. The police searched Alexa's home and car, looking for any evidence that might link her to the crime. They found nothing suspicious or incriminating. Alexa's phone records and social media activity showed no contact with Richard in the weeks leading up to the murder. Throughout the interrogation, Alexa remained calm and composed.
See, y'all, Alexa had a clear record too, just like Wendy, the wife. She was, cleared from, being a person of interest. So, y'all, let's carry on. Let's carry on.
Despite her obvious disdain for Richard, she answered all questions directly and showed no signs of guilt or deception. Detective Cattle noted her cooperation and honesty, but knew they had to keep all possibilities open. After several hours of questioning, Alexa was released. The police continued to monitor her, aware that her past with Richard made her a potential suspect. However, her alibi and lack of evidence made it difficult to tie her to the crime directly. The investigation into Richard Engelbert's murder grew more complex with each interview. Detective Cattle and his team were determined to uncover the truth. But the web of secrets and lies surrounding Richard's life made their task increasingly challenging.
Y'all, Richard, he had a lot going on. Richard would seem like he was the freak of the town, not the freak of the week, the freak of the month, the freak of the whole town. He was going around there, showing people houses and sleeping with folks' husbands, y'all. That part. This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. And not only was he sleeping with these, his, customers from showing houses, he was having a whole 2-year affair with his stepson. And then when Alexa went and confronted him, like, hey, Richard, what's going on with you and my husband? Richard was like, you go ask your husband. This is just me, saying this is probably how I'm thinking that how Richard was saying, I ain't got nothing to do with y'all. You better go talk to your husband about our situation. Don't be asking me nothing, because I ain't married to you. He is. But y'all, let's carry on, because this is getting out of control.
They pressed on, hoping to find the piece of evidence that would finally reveal the killer. On July 3, 2014, the investigation took a dramatic turn. It was a hot summer day in Littleton, Colorado, with temperatures reaching the high 80s. Around 10 o'clock a.m., Detective James Cattle received a call from the forensic lab. They had found crucial new evidence while re-examining items from the crime scene.
Uh-oh.
Among Richard Engelbert's belongings was a small hidden camera disguised as a smoke detector installed in the basement.
Oh.
Detective Cattle and his team immediately...
Y'all, a camera in the smoke detector in the basement? I wonder if Richard put that there or did Wendy put that there? I wonder. And I bet you that had a lot of evidence on it because I believe he was working from the basement. So, that's probably where some of his freak offs was going on too. While Wendy was at work, he was probably having freak offs in the basement. So it probably captured a whole lot of stuff. And what did Richard put that in there or did Wendy? Did Wendy suspect something eventually from, during a certain point in time of their relationship, or did Richard put that up there to brag to other men that he's a freak of the town, he get whatever he want, whoever he want, other married men, so on and so forth? Did he do it or did Wendy do it? Y'all, let's carry on. This is getting crazy.
Immediately retrieved the footage. The camera had recorded the basement's activities for the past few weeks, capturing Richard's secret meetings and interactions. As they reviewed the footage, they discovered a recording from the day of the murder. The video showed a heated argument between Richard and his stepson, Harrison Engelbert. The argument quickly escalated into a physical struggle. In the video, Harrison grabbed the luxury belt from a nearby chair and used it to choke Richard in a fit of rage. The footage captured the entire incident, providing undeniable evidence of Harrison's involvement in the murder. The team was shocked by the brutality and clear motive behind the act: anger and betrayal.
See, y'all, Richard was a Tasmanian devil. He was doing the most. He was lying to his stepson, manipulating his stepson so he could be graping his stepson, doing whatever he wanted to do. When he goes to work, he is freaking off with married men and ain't God knows what other husbands he was freaking off with. And the other men that was he messing with other young children? Like, because he was all over the place. The stepson, Alexa's husband, and the other freak off, other freak off men that was coming while he was showing houses. Y'all, this is crazy, y'all. Richard was off the chain. Richard said he could do whatever he want to do, when he wants to do it, how he wants to do it. Y'all, let's carry on.
With this new evidence, Detective Cattle contacted Harrison and asked him to come in for further questioning. Harrison arrived at the station, unaware of the video evidence against him. During the interrogation, Cattle confronted him with the footage. Harrison's demeanor changed instantly. His initial calmness turned to panic and desperation. Realizing he had been caught, Harrison broke down and confessed. He explained that he felt trapped in the relationship with Richard.
See, when you have a stepfather, of course, that is doing dirty things, of course, you having a whole relationship with your stepson. So he was probably like, don't you tell your mom that, we having this relationship, of course. And then he's out there having relationships and freak offs with everybody underneath the sun in the little town that he is in, and this little young boy is 21 years old, and this stepfather has manipulated him and he has raped him and having, a, secret love affair with, this man. I'm gonna say secret love affair, not raping, but a secret love affair with this stepson. And the stepson is like, thinking that, they're doing what they're doing, and it's probably only him, just them two. But no, Richard, he's out on the prowl for other men, other people's wives, other people's husbands, and who knows who else? Your other young kids, I know from Alexa's husband, he was messing with women's husbands. Like, Richard was off the chain, y'all. He was. Let's continue.
Manipulated by both his stepfather and his mother, Wendy, the constant deceit and Richard's infidelity had pushed him to his breaking point.
See, it said the mother was manipulating him too. So that's why I said, did the mother put a camera in the fire thing, to record what was going down in the basement? Because Richard was having freak offs and doing all kind of stuff allegedly, y'all, allegedly. But I'm just saying, like, was she maybe had some kind of a feeling like maybe he's messing with my son, or did Harrison go and talk to his mother Wendy and say, we've been having an affair and we've been doing XYZ, and not only that, he's over there freaking off and doing this and doing that. Like, when did Wendy find out about all this stuff that was going on? Like, did she have some type of intel before he passed away, to take those type of actions with the camera? Possibly, if she did that. I don't know, y'all. Let's continue. This is crazy.
Harrison admitted that in a moment of uncontrollable rage, he had killed Richard to free himself from the suffocating situation. Detective Cattle carefully documented Harrison's confession, ensuring every detail was recorded. The new evidence.
Y'all, when that detective was recording all of the information, all of the evidence and confessions and stuff, they needed to place a name on that crime and who committed it. So, of course, they're going to ask questions. They're going to interrogate you until the sun comes up the next morning. They're going to ask you all kinds of questions. They're going to keep you up. They're going to give you water, coffee, tea, go buy you McDonald's, but they want that juice up out of you. They want the tea. They want that confession. If they get that confession, they already know that this is going to be an easy court case to win when they do take it to court. But y'all, let's carry on.
Evidence, combined with the confession, left no doubt about Harrison's guilt. The police now had a clear picture of the events leading up to Richard Engelbert's murder and the complex web of secrets and lies that had surrounded the case. On July 4, 2014, just before noon, the Littleton Police Department made a decisive move. With Harrison Engelbert's confession and the incriminating video evidence, Detective James Cattle and his team were ready to arrest him for the murder of Richard Engelbert. Harrison, 21, a college student and part-time bartender, had been living a life of turmoil and confusion. Despite his attempts to overcome his troubled past, the intense emotional pressure from his affair.
And y'all, I really want to know too, like, what kind of trauma, what kind of situation was Harrison in? Because they did mention that Wendy, his mom, was very manipulative too. So did she have other men that were she was allowing to mess with him, and she allowed this behavior? I don't know, because I have watched cases where the mother that gave birth to this child, to a child, will participate with their sick minds, with knowing that their boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, is doing this to their child, and they're okay with it. So I wonder if she has some kind of inklet of a knowledge that Richard was having, relations with her son. That is disgusting too. That is disgusting. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. That is awful. Y'all, let's carry on, because this is getting crazy. Let's carry on, y'all.
With his stepfather and his mother's manipulations had driven him to a breaking point. The police learned that Harrison, overwhelmed by feelings of betrayal and manipulation, had killed Richard in a fit of rage. On the day of the arrest, Detective Cattle and several officers arrived at Harrison's apartment. They knocked on the door, and Harrison, looking pale and exhausted, answered. He was handcuffed and read his rights. Harrison seemed resigned to his fate, showing little emotion as he was led to the police car. The neighborhood was quiet, but a few.
Y'all, it is also so sad when these type of situations, of course, are known and occurs, because this boy, and I'm gonna say boy because he was 21 in college. He's still a child. You're not grown until you really. I mean, he had an apartment. I'm sure his apartment was probably in the college town, maybe, possibly. I don't know. I'm not sure. I didn't get no information on that, but maybe he was in college and stayed in apartment. And when they went to go apprehend him, they he was pale and everything. He was probably in there sweating bullets because he already knew what time it was. He already knew the time the clock was ticking and that they were going to be coming, knocking on that door any given time to come and get him. So it's sad though, because this boy was manipulated by his stepfather. And also, was this boy manipulated into this gay situation, gay love affair, because of the stepfather's intentions and what he wanted? Or was Harrison already, was he already liking boys? Was he already knew that he was gay? Y'all, I mean, there's so many twists and turns that, I'd be wanting to ask all those type of questions. And I'm sure those questions were probably asked whenever they did have court. But y'all, let's carry on because this is crazy.
Few curious onlookers watched as the scene unfolded. Back at the station, Harrison was formally charged with the murder of Richard Engelbert.
See, y'all, when they went to go apprehend him at his apartment, they already charged him. Okay, we got a name, we got our evidence, we got a proof. He didn't already said that he had did this to his stepfather, and they already know they got bam, easy. They already got the person of interest, which was Harrison, his stepson. So his stepson, yes, he confessed to unaliving his stepfather. And unbeknown to him, he thought that, I'm sure Harrison thought that he was probably the only one messing with his stepdad. But his stepdad, he was a whole freak in the little town that they lived in. I mean, messing with, like I said, messing with folk husband, messing with other people, and ain't no telling what else and how else and who else he was doing it with. But evidently, it looks like, he likes the men. He's not, he don't want no woman. He don't want nothing that a woman got. All he wanted was maybe the title of being married to and having a woman on that marriage certificate. But y'all, let's carry on.
Detective Cattle conducted a final interview to document all the details of Harrison's confession. Harrison reiterated his feelings of being trapped and manipulated by Richard and pressured by his mother, Wendy. He described the events leading.
Pressured by his mother, Wendy. Why was Wendy pressuring him? If Wendy didn't know anything about what was going on, y'all, in this love affair with his stepdad, why was Wendy keeping a secret? Because Wendy was, is the mother of Harrison. What is the secret? I don't understand what the secret was, but I think the secret was they probably knew something. Wendy and Harrison probably knew something, like Rich is over there. He's having all kind of freak offs. He's a realtor. He's bringing people into the house in the basement. They got the camera in there. He's having freak offs. He's messing with other people's husbands. He's messing with, his stepson and all the people that, not all the people, but some people that he's showing houses to. He's like, yeah, we need to go. You want to look at this room, the master bedroom? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the master bedroom. Yeah. And he was actually messing with other men, y'all. Let's carry on. This is crazy, but let's carry on.
Leading up to the murder, including the violent argument that had escalated into the fatal attack. Wendy Engelbert, Richard's wife and Harrison's mother, was also brought in for questioning. The investigation had revealed that Wendy had known about the affair for months and had pressured Harrison to continue it.
See, I knew it. That makes me wonder. Wendy knew that her husband was messing with her son. And for a couple of months, y'all, that is disgusting. Like, my son and my husband is sharing me and my son, y'all. That is sickening. Let's carry on. And she knew this. Instead of going and trying to put some charges on him or trying to she probably had a motive for herself because he was a realtor. So she was probably like, I'm getting that money. Look, I don't care if you mess with Harrison, just keep on running me that money. Some women are like that. I've watched a lot of court cases. You guys will be surprised. If y'all are not watching the Louisiana Parole Board, I watch it every day that it comes on. It comes on live, and it's actually these type of cases. And y'all would be surprised because the mothers, whenever they have the women on parole and they tell their story, well, what did you do? Why are you here today on the parole board? Well, I was um, with my boyfriend or my husband, and my husband was, doing bad things, saying my daughter or my son. Oh, ma'am, did you know about it? Well, yeah, but I was just I was manipulated into doing and knowing. No, you knew what was going on. And even if you were scared, somehow or another, somebody's going out the house, you could have went to the police station and made a report that he was doing this to your child. But some women are so sickening, y'all. It is disgusting. But if y'all, I'm telling you, the women, Louisiana parole board, the women, they come on every once in a while. They don't have that many that come on, but it's always the men mostly. And the men be doing stuff like, I had watched one just last week, y'all. The man, he raped his own son. I was like, it's happening out here, y'all. Y'all got to pay attention to y'all's children. Y'all got to watch y'all children. Y'all, look, don't ask me to spend the night at nobody's house. My kids, no, don't ask me to spend the night at nobody's house, because these parents, they are getting the kids to spend the night at the house and taking advantage of them children. Y'all got to be careful. Y'all can't let y'all kids go to Sally Sue or Mays or Shaniqua Shaquanda's house and have a spend a night, party and a slumber party and stuff. No, that type of stuff these days is awful. I'm telling you, awful. And I know firsthand, because I know somebody that it happened to that is very close to me. And these are things that happen. Y'all got to keep your eyes open, because I'm telling you, these parents and these mothers and fathers, they will put their children up to conning them, let your friend, let Becky, stay the night, and next thing you know, it's a whole SA situation or graping situation, y'all. It's sad. It is awful. Y'all got to watch y'all's kids. Y'all keep an eye on y'all's kids. And look, y'all have to keep your head on a swivel with people in dealing with your children. No, I could not allow my child to do that. Go, no spending the night nowhere. So don't ask. Okay, y'all, let's carry on, y'all. Let's carry on.
She feared that Richard's reckless sexual behavior would ruin her chances in the upcoming election for school superintendent.
Y'all, so she is scared that his actions are gonna ruin her reputation and her situation going on with trying to get elected as whatever she was trying to get elected for. I would have been to that police station in the hot New York second. As soon as I know that you was messing with my child, I would have went to that police station and I would have turned you in. I would not. That's why I said this mother is a manipulator as well, and she knew what was going on, but she was trying to. She had a motive herself. She was like, "I'm a single mom. I only got, I don't know how many children she has, but she had Harrison, and she was probably using Richard to get and finance and do whatever she wanted to do. She was probably pimping him out for his realtor money, while she's like, okay, you can go ahead and, have sex with my son. It's okay. And he's having, sex with him. And he's thinking that he's the only one. But little did Harrison know, Richard, he was the freak of the week, the freak of the town, the freak of the realtor, the freak of the basement. He was messing with other people's husbands. He was all over the place, y'all. And I'm sure Harrison was like, okay, if I'm having, sex with him, he's probably the only one I'm having sex with, because that's probably what he told Harrison. Oh no, this is just me, between me and you, blah, blah. But something happened to where Harrison went and told his mom, I'm messing, me and Richard is having a affair. We are doing, X, Y, Z. And she was probably like, oh, okay. And then until she talking about she had an accident that she didn't remember or know that anything was going on. You know what is going on. You see interactions with your child and your husband. That is not his biological father. So You see if they're having a private conversation, or how they're reacting or acting in front of you. I just don't understand, y'all. But there's no way. Y'all got to keep an eye out on y'all's children, y'all, because I'm telling you, there's a whole bunch of Richards out here that will be smiling in your face, try to move in your house. Yeah, I love you, let's get married. Next thing you know, he's having a whole gay love affair freak off with the whole neighborhood, with other people's husbands, and doing the most, even with the stepchildren. I mean, he's sleeping with her son, y'all. That is so disgusting. Oh, okay, let's carry on, y'all. Let's carry on.
Wendy, however, was not directly involved in the murder. Her deception and manipulation added a layer of complexity to the case, but she
That
was
is
not charged with
awful.
any crime. Richard's family was shocked by the revelations. They had seen Richard as a devoted husband and father, unaware of his double life. The arrest of Harrison brought a mix of emotions.
I can imagine, y'all. Harrison probably felt very betrayed by his mother and his stepfather, because a child looks up to their mother and stepfather as being protectors. Now, Harrison was violated by his stepfather and then manipulated by his stepfather and also his mother. Y'all, this is awful, but I'm telling y'all, this is the things that are happening. Y'all got to keep your eyes open and your ears open when y'all have a step parent in the home, and not sometimes even the natural father or mother is doing this to their own children. So y'all, oh my goodness, it's so sad. But I know it sounds as bad and ugly as it does, but it is so true. It's so true. But let's carry on.
Grief for Richard's death, anger at the betrayal, and a sense of tragic inevitability given the circumstances. The community of Littleton was stunned by the news. The murder had exposed a hidden world of secrets and lies, shaking the town to its core. As Harrison awaited trial, the Engelbert family and the entire community tried to come to terms with the shocking events that had unfolded. The police had solved the case, but the emotional aftermath would linger for a long time. The truth about Richard's life and death had been revealed, but the scars left behind would take much longer to heal. The trial of Harrison Engelbert began on August 15, 2014 in Littleton, Colorado. The courtroom was filled with family, friends, and local media, all eager to hear the details of the case. The trial was a significant event in the community, drawing attention from both local and national news outlets. The prosecution was led by District Attorney Laura Mitchell, a 45-year-old known for her strong courtroom presence and dedication to justice. She argued that Harrison's murder of Richard Engelbert was premeditated and driven by deep-seated anger and betrayal. She presented the hidden camera footage and Harrison's confession as key evidence. Mitchell emphasized that Harrison's actions were the result of a troubled and volatile relationship, but ultimately, he was responsible for the brutal death of his stepfather. The defense was represented by non-binary advocate Z. Barnes, a 40-year-old attorney with a reputation for defending high-profile cases.
Wow.
Barnes argued that Harrison's actions were the result of intense emotional turmoil and manipulation from both Richard and his mother.
Y'all, how awful is that? Your mother, it's you and your mother. You look up to your mother and you look up to your stepfather, and to find out they violated you, like your mother knows that your stepfather is having sex with you, and that's a whole violation, and she's worried about her reputation, trying to get voted in for whatever she's trying to get voted in for. I mean, what kind of mother is that? But those type of mothers, y'all, are out there. I'm telling you, I see it when I watch the Louisiana parole board, y'all. When it's live, these females, they will act like they don't know what's going on, or oh, I was manipulated into this situation to know that he was messing with my daughter or my son. And no, you know how to dial 911. And I'm sure sometime throughout the day, somebody has to go in and out the house to make money. For sure you could be calling and reporting that. But no, they entertain that. And it's so sad because these children are being violated. Like, what happened to the children's rights, y'all? They like went out the window. Like, people are not like adhering to that. And it's awful. It's awful. Let's carry on, y'all. It's almost over. It's almost over.
Mother, Wendy. They claimed that Harrison's unstable mental state and the pressure he faced made it difficult for him to control his actions. Barnes sought a verdict of guilty, but with consideration for a lesser charge, hoping for a more lenient sentence due to the circumstances.
Mm.
During the trial, the victim's family, including Wendy Engelbert and other relatives, sat quietly, visibly distressed by the proceedings. They had been shocked by the revelations of Richard's double life and the turmoil it had caused. Their emotional reactions were palpable as they listened to the details of the affair and the
Mm.
murder.
Mm.
On September 5, 2014, the jury returned with a verdict. Harrison Engelbert was found guilty of second-degree murder.
Mm.
The jury determined that while Harrison had acted in a fit of rage, the killing was not premeditated. The decision
Okay, yeah, he was guilty, of course, because they had it on, on record, whatever, on camera, what he did, how he did it, and everything. But y'all, I really don't think that this boy, and it's sad because he has been manipulated by his mother and his stepfather. He was in an all around bad situation. I this case right here, it shouldn't. I don't think that he did do wrong, but at the same time, he was manipulated. He was, to me, he was abused, possibly like throughout his years of his life, the way it sounds, and he's been probably going through this. And did this just start, or how long had this been going on? Were they married a long time, to where I know they say the love affair between the Richard and Harrison, which is the father and stepfather, that love affair went on for 2 years. But did something happen prior to that? Was Wendy married to another man, or was she dating another man, that this same situation happened to Harrison in his younger years, to where he has all these issues? I can only imagine, because if she's trying to save face and worry about her election and her name and this, that, and the third, instead of worrying about her son having a sexual love affair with her husband, I mean, she got everything. Her mind is screwed up. This is my opinion. There's no way that I'm married to my husband and my husband is messing with my son. That is sickening, y'all. But let's continue. But I don't think that he should get a lot of time. I don't know how much time, but they did find him guilty. But I don't think that they should give him that much time, because this boy was manipulated, and who's to say he was probably talked into having this type of lifestyle? Because what if he wasn't even gay? What if he liked girls or women, but he was messing with his stepdad? His stepdad was messing with him. Was he walked into this lifestyle unbeknown to him? It's sad, y'all. Let's carry on. It's only a little bit left of this video.
decision was met with mixed reactions. Some felt the verdict was just, given the emotional and psychological factors involved.
So sad.
Others felt it was too lenient, given the brutality of the crime. Harrison was sentenced to 25 years in prison without the possibility of parole.
Wow.
The sentencing brought a sense of closure to the case, but the pain and trauma for Richard's family were far from over. The Engelbert family struggled to find peace, knowing that Richard's death had been caused by someone so close to them.
Wow.
The trial's impact extended beyond the courtroom. It forced the community to confront the hidden realities of betrayal and manipulation, leaving a lasting mark on Littleton. As the case concluded, the Engelbert family and the town of Littleton began the difficult process of healing from the shocking events that had unfolded. After the trial of Harrison Engelbert concluded in September 2014, life in Littleton, Colorado, slowly began to return to normal, but the impact of the case lingered. The community, deeply shaken by the brutal murder of Richard Engelbert and the subsequent revelations, faced a long process of healing and adjustment. Harrison Engelbert, now serving a 25-year prison sentence, remained in the Colorado Department of Corrections. His life behind bars was marked by the same struggles he faced outside, dealing with his own emotions and the consequences of his actions. In prison, Harrison was reportedly quiet and withdrawn, focusing on completing his education through available programs. He used the time to reflect on his past decisions and seek counseling for his emotional issues.
Wow.
Wendy Engelbert, Richard's wife, had her own challenges to face. The trial had exposed her knowledge of Richard's affair and her manipulative actions, which had a significant impact on her personal and professional life. The scandal affected her candidacy for school superintendent,
Wow.
a position she had been campaigning for diligently. Despite her previous efforts to present a perfect image, the revelations led to her withdrawal from the race. Wendy
Mm.
tried to rebuild her life away from the public eye, seeking therapy to cope with the emotional fallout and to address the impact of the scandal on her reputation. In the
Wow.
months following the trial, Littleton began to move forward, though the scars of the case remained. The community held memorials and support events to honor Richard Engelbert's memory and to support those affected by the crime. The
Mm-mm.
Engelbert family's tragedy served as a sobering reminder of the hidden struggles that can lie behind closed doors. As life resumed its normal pace, the case remained a poignant chapter in Littleton's history, a
Mm.
reminder of the deep impact of betrayal and violence on individuals and communities alike. The story of Richard Engelbert's murder is a tragic reminder of the complexities and hidden secrets that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly perfect lives.
Y'all, that is let me remove this. Y'all, so this story right here, you guys, it is really, really really, really sad, you guys. If y'all have children or grandchildren, y'all have to keep an eye out on them if there's a step parent in the house, because I'm telling you, people these days, they do not care. Either they're using it for their own, like this situation, I feel, and this is just my opinion. Wendy knew that her son was being in a whole sexual relationship with her husband. I mean, her husband is having a sexual relationship with her son. Y'all, this that is crazy. That is bogus. But you guys, I don't think that Harrison should got that much time, even though it was wrong. He did unalive, but he was in a situation. And you guys, I think, certain situations is different. Like if it was no type of uh relationship going on between them, I don't think that they probably would have gave him more time if it was just a regular situation where he unalived him. But y'all, I don't think that 25 years. I don't think that 25 years he should have got that, because he was manipulated by his own mother. He was manipulated by his stepfather into having sex with his stepfather. The stepfather was freaking off with people that he was showing houses to. He was messing around with other women's husbands, and he was all over the place. Like, I just don't think him at 21, he should have got 25 years, maybe like 7 years or something like that. That's my opinion. Some kind of, because, you don't want to say that it's okay that he did it, but really and truly, he did it because he was manipulated and he was in a situation. The mother knew what was going on, and she was like, oh, okay, I need to get elected, and not even looking at my son as being in a whole relationship with my husband. Y'all, let me know what y'all think about this situation. I hope you guys enjoyed the live. I mean, this was a tough one, but do you guys think that Harrison should have got 25 years, or do y'all think Harrison should have got like maybe 5 years or 7 years? I think he should have got like 5 or 7 years, because he was manipulated. And then who's to say that he probably wasn't even, gay, but the stepfather then talked them into having a gay love affair. Like, I mean, there's so many different avenues, but to me, he was manipulated. He was a young boy, a young child, and the mother was manipulating him, and the mother should have been protecting him. Like, if the stepfather was doing that to him, okay, but at the same time, the mother, she knew what was going on. I don't think, I feel bad for the situation for Harrison, because he was young and he was probably being told, oh, I'm not, by his stepfather, oh, I'm not messing with no other man, I'm just messing with you, Harrison. And then when Harrison found out that my stepdad is messing with me, and not only me, other women's husbands, and he's having freak offs too with these people he's showing houses to, and ain't no telling who else. Was it other young kids? Was he messing with young girls? Did Wendy have any other children? Were they touched or bothered? There's so many things, and I'm sure that all was in the court case. But y'all, tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think Harrison got should have gotten 25 years in the state of Colorado's Department of Corrections, or less? I think less, but who am I? I didn't listen to everything that was, presented during this court case. And this happened like 2013, 14. It happened a good little while ago. So at least he went in there and he was, keeping to himself and then trying to get help and therapy, because he really needed therapy all along. I mean, when he was younger, I don't know what situations he'd been through, but it did say that he was, had situations going on to where he probably needed therapy. In that situation, he was probably entrusting of his stepfather, and his stepfather took advantage of him, and he was already probably having other issues prior to that situation. So it's just a whole situation going on. But let me know how y'all like the video. And I will continue to bring you guys content. I love doing court cases. I love court cases. If you guys are not watching the Louisiana parole board, I watch that every week, y'all. The Louisiana parole board, because some of these cases like these are on there with real live women that are knowing that their children are being essayed and all kind of stuff by their partners. It's sad, it's sickening. But I like to see, like, why are they in here? Are they getting therapy? Are they going to counseling to fix their situation? And that's the thing. Once they go to prison for these situations, they have to go and get rehabilitated. And that's the whole purpose of being, incarcerated. When you commit a crime, you have to go in there, you have to do the classes, you have to get therapy, do whatever your crime consists of. You have to go and do the classes and show that you are changing and that you understood what you did as far as what your crime was. And getting rehabilitated can help them get out on the parole, out on parole. But y'all, it's sad. But let me know what y'all think. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'm gonna find another court case, because there's so many court cases out here. And it, of course, it's sad, because it's a crime. But the things that happen, it always like really intrigues me on what people do, how they do it, why they do it. It's crazy. But yeah, so we're gonna find more court cases to dive into. And yeah. So like, share, and subscribe, and I will continue to bring y'all content. I will see y'all on the next video. Toodles. Bye.